You know, we've talked in the past about the very strange phenomenon of people who spend so much of their life obsessing over the sexual orientation of other people. And this is one of the weirder stories that I've covered before. Well, someone took it to the next level, right? We know that a lot of people can't stop thinking and freaking out over the fact that gay people would dare to get married. But now you have an ex-Newsmax star, as I saw him described, Addison Smith, who used to be a television anchor on Newsmax, the far-right outlet. And he posted something on X. So he had a very exciting announcement. I'll just crop it so you can put this on screen, Jaden. Look at this. Addison Smith, happiest day of his godforsaken life, where he is engaged or getting engaged, proposing to his girlfriend. And you can see the photographs there. So beautiful. Why would I talk about this, Luke? Why would you talk about this, Luke? You might be asking. Well, because he chose to caption it, Pride Month is so defeated. I love you, Karis Edwards. So on the most consequential day of his life thus far, Addison Smith can't get away from thinking about the gay. On the day where he's chosen to dedicate his life to someone, to tether his soul to another being for eternity, hopefully if things work out, he still can't get away from the gay. On the day that he's saying those words, he's been nervous and excited about saying for months since he fell in love with Karis. His mind still can't get away from the gay. Okay, you get the point. A little poetry there. Wow. LGBTQ people live so rent-free in Mr. Smith's mind that he's making his engagement about defeating Pride Month? Addison. Addie. You being batty, okay? But a few different funny responses to this. Chris Evans said, you proposed to your girlfriend and your first thought was gay people? Weird flex, babe. Then you have Yashar Ali saying, so you thought about LGBTQ people when you were proposing and posting this. We're just having a good time, okay? So let's just take this lighthearted, but kind of gay, dude, which is fine. Just an odd omission to make. Imagine when your kids look back exactly on this moment, and instead of some sweet announcement, they'll see that dad was thinking about pride parades. Odd indeed. Charlotte Climbers said, congrats to you both. I wish y'all a lifetime of happiness. It's not really clear to me why you need to make such a beautiful moment about LGBTQ people. A beautiful moment about LGBTQ people, especially when we want y'all to find your happiness in family as much as we do, hoping you find peace in this next chapter. You have someone also saying, having gay men on your mind. No, I can't read that one. I can't believe that was prepped for me. Patrick Tomlinson said, son, straight married man here. Pride is not about keeping people like us from getting married. It's about letting everyone who wants to get married. Yeah, now I'm going to get emotional. You didn't defeat anything. You just made the day you proposed to a woman about gay sex somehow. And Betty Bowers saying, your first thought when proposing to your wife is gay men. I predict this will be a pattern. Condolences to your wife. And then we'll move on to something crazy here in a second here. So I'm having a hard time keeping it together because I'm imagining. I feel... Let me put it this way. The sexual orientation of people that I don't know will be the last thing on my mind when I'm proposing, right? That'll be the last thing on my mind. He posts his announcement about this engagement and says Pride Month was defeated. And let me make something so much more clear. One of the people really emphasized this nicely. The advocacy on behalf of LGBTQ rights is, and this is the beautiful thing about it, not exclusionary, right? Your ideology, Addison, is premised on the idea that for you to be, I can't even properly explain this, for you to be happy, you have to prevent others from being happy, right? Whereas our ideology is, yes, Addison Smith got married. That's exciting. And the joy that hopefully he's feeling, I want a bunch of people to feel that, even if the person they're proposing to is also a man. And the fact that he can't see that to the insane extent that he has to make his engagement announcement about defeating Pride Month is stunning. And I do think it's an indictment of the contrast between the two ideologies. Because as was mentioned in the responses, we want all different types of families to be happy. And that special moment that you have an awesome photograph of, we want a bunch of those moments, and a bunch of straight couples having those moments, gay couples having those moments. That's the beautiful thing. It's inclusionary. And why it feels like you have to push people down for you to be up higher is, I think, a flaw in your ideology. Now, I do think a part of this is, and I'm being a little bit tongue-in-cheek here, but it is sort of funny. To me, it's sort of like, all right, Pride Month, what are we celebrating? People being who they are and the overcoming of all these obstacles over the years. And we're celebrating the fact that we are in favor, supportive of, loving people for who they are. Awesome. Let's have a bunch of incredibly happy families, straight, gay, whatever. I think some people interact with this concept differently because of their own turbulence emotionally, right? Some people aren't as stable maybe in their situation. Not to make any allegations against anyone in particular, but maybe that causes the inner strife spews out at other people instead of just sort of figuring out for themselves. Because why would other people's happiness make you so angry? And why would a moment that should just be pure happiness for you be about defeating other people? And again, I think it gets to this weird obsession with being gay, really, or being trans. Also a huge societal obsession for some of these MAGA folks. And we've seen this come out with other huge MAGA celebrities. Andrew Tate, at one point, one of the most Googled men on the internet, he had this bizarre clip where, again, it just seems that I would encourage them to just get over whatever this is in whatever way that manifests. And then we can unite around defending people's right to be who they are and also work in unison as a beautiful combination of different identities to make everyone's lives better, to increase people's wages, to get people more health care, to protect and give back to and give the proper benefits to those who serve our country, our veterans, to invest in infrastructure, invest in schools properly, minimize food insecurity, reduce poverty, strengthen unions. We can work on that, but sometimes we really can't. We have to pause to just go back to square one. Wait, are we all fully valued the same? Which should be an easy thing to accept. But anyways, here's Andrew Tate really struggling with this concept.
I recently posted a question on Twitter asking, would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, 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 because they think they're going to be gay if they do anything else. But they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a or Hulk Hogan with a. That's the girl.
And then he goes on, but I'm uncomfortable. This is just putting a little adolescent into an adult wealthy man's body. Now he has been charged with sex trafficking related charges. So the philosopher Andrew Tate going down in flames there. You also have neo-Nazi and former dinner guest of Trump, Nick Fuentes, saying this.
what, people calling me gay because I've never had a girlfriend. I think if anything, it makes me less gay. If anything, it makes me not gay. As opposed to less gay. Not that there's any gay, but it makes me not gay. Well, because think about it this way. You know, gay people do date girls all the time. Real. And when I said on Elijah Schaefer's show, when they said, have you ever been in a romantic relationship? Have you ever had sex with a girl? And I said, no. If you name searched me on Twitter, as I always do, all these gay people are coming out and saying, I've had more girlfriends than Nick. I've had sex with more girls than Nick. So like I said last week, not only is that thinking flawed, but actually it's the reverse. That actually makes me really more heterosexual than anybody. If we're really being honest.
Right. And then don't split screen to this one because you just need the audio, but Andrew Tate is shirtless. I don't really know what the rules are about that, but we'll just play this.
I want to make this point, and it's quite nuanced, so I want everyone to understand it. I've come to a conclusion in my old age that having pointless sex, even with girls, is gay.
Yeah, it is. If you're
let me make this clear. I want people to understand this at home.
Okay.
If you have sex with a woman, there should be a possibility that life will be created because that's what sex is for. Now, God is the best of planners, and God decides if she gets pregnant or not. God is the ultimate decider. I'm not even saying you can't pull out, because even if you pull out...
So, if you're born infertile, according to Andrew Tate, you're gay. And the reason I play that for you is because I think sometimes, purposefully, at least when you're observing my show, when you're viewing this show, there are a lot of parts of the internet and of culture that we don't dive into. Because to me, as I've explained to you before, we should focus on people in positions of political power and then associated powerful media positions. And so we focus a lot on those people and then the issues that I find to be the most important to discuss. And often, Andrew Tate deciding if a certain act is gay or not doesn't really fall into that paradigm. But the influence of some of these individuals, including Tate, is significant and representative of a broader MAGA discussion, as we saw from this Newsmax anchor, who's a political figure, making his engagement about owning the libs, owning Pride Month, being defeated because he did the thing that we're celebrating for lots of people, including him. And I think sometimes it's important to check in on that. Sort of, in other parts of the internet, what's the discussion? And it will break through with a viral post like the one that I originally started the segment with. But I just want to say I'm grateful to you all that you enjoy having the discussions that we have, where we operate under the assumption that of course we're going to celebrate people's right to be who they are. Of course, we're going to uplift families of all different types. And we hope for a future where we can get past that debate, something that seems so fundamental, and continue working in the policy areas that make families, again, of all types, MAGA families, gay families, straight families, better off. But other people are still trying to sort out this. Okay, that's how I'll end it. And I think we should be motivated in being a part of the movement that just wants everyone to do better. We don't need to sacrifice other people's happiness for ours. And actually, the rising tide lifts all boats concept, it really is true. That is how we make people better off, is to care, support, love, and then invest in everybody. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. Wacky stuff. for sure. And then if you want to get an extra episode of the show daily, you can do so by clicking that join button below.